This for the gentrifiers. This for the.
To what they call Philadelphia, right? This region was called Shaxamoxin, which means where the kings meet. The territory as a whole was called Lenapehoking.
I prefer to watch human behavior from afar. The ignorance, intelligence, and they art of war. Tragedy, strategies, put knowledge in the book. Change our language so we couldn't read it if we look. Convince us we ain't have shit here but disease. Made us 3/5 human and black illegally. You put your fist up to being African American. How much history you went through for that to make some sense? I've been on Turtle Island 10,000 years. Akubulan been my neighbor. Pangea brought me here. The world didn't start in 1400s. Niggas grow up. What you think we was doing? Morse was running Europe. We been tribal folk, now it's time to show up. Bring back the villages, cause cities ain't got no love. Your melanin addicted to the infliction of pollution. Chemical dependency, nature the solution. Grow your food and medicine, build homes in conclusion. The enemy will televise infiltration as inclusion.
And in order to be in propria persona in this country, whether that be North America, Central America, or South America, you must be a Moor. If they want to be sovereign, they got to go home. They cannot be.
Peace, y'all. So that's how we start in season 2 because
Yeah, that was
technology
right
was
there.
like, fuck what you trying to do. But I've evolved so much since season 1. I'm not even, as anal as I was at first. Like, we moving like water, baby. Fuck it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, sis. That was super dope right there. That was tight. I'm bringing the words back.
Thank
That was tight.
you. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
vibing out
you.
to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, honey. We bringing it in season 2. It's like we brought it in season 1. We'll be coming back stronger, harder, more knowledge as well. Well, I don't know if we can top season 1 though, because season 1 we did have a lot of knowledge on too.
We did. We talked a lot about planets and zodiacs. We talked a lot about chakras and color therapy. We had some really dope guests come on. I was rewatching some of our old joints, like we did the pussy power affirmations, and
Mhm.
we talked to Mahatma about JDL Enterprise and her podcast. We had an episode where we had Foxy Roxy on, and we talked about Lilith, which was an amazing episode. It was very
Yes.
empowering. We even had some haters watching us and commenting all crazy on our episodes. Like, we had some, people that were very inspired and supporting us on it. Like, it was just a nice, eclectic, you know, I'm here for it.
Okay. We had all the ingredients to make the perfect recipe.
And we did, and we did. So today, bear with us. We may be having a little bit of technical difficulties. I know you sound a little spotty over there. Um,
Yes, in as well. That's why I got the tablet over here. It doesn't bad on the tablet, but it's just delayed.
I see, I see. And that's okay. We're gonna get through it. As long as we can understand each other, that's all that matters. We moving like water today, y'all.
Yeah, moving like one of them. What is a Cancer or Pisces?
The Pythie. We moving like mermaids.
Oh yeah, we are moving like mermaids. Hold on, Cancer isn't a water.
Hey,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we
a
just gonna
fire
go.
alarm. We're gonna move like mermaids today. And that's what we're gonna talk about, which I'm super hype about because we did our homework.
Yeah, we did.
We did we did our homework and our homework about
Except for some.
mermaids led me all the way back to like biblical times. We started looking up Sumerians and Akkadians. Started looking up Ubadians. We got into Atlantis and finding the Garden of Eden and the Mediterranean. I spent the day today trying to find videos about the maps, and I finally saw a map opening that made sense to me. Whereas instead of it being like, oh, we cut the globe in half at some random spot and decided to open it up, it was
Mhm.
kind of like looking down, like at the nipple of Earth on the new the North Pole is the nipple of Earth, and just like looking at the land masses like around it. And if you look at it from that point of view, all the land masses are together and still connected. And Antarctica doesn't look like a squiggly line. It kind of looks like a border around everything.
Yeah, the border around the Earth.
And
Like
that
I
made it
think
makes it.
that's what regulates the climate as well, and also that you can't just leave Earth like that.
And
It's
you
got to
know
be
what?
some type of
You know what that
latitude.
brings me to a thought of? If you do look at the globe or the map from that angle with the ice layer, like that little being around the Earth, didn't we talk about comets being ice layer, or most planets out in space is like a thick ass layer of ice? Could that very well be our thick ass layer of ice?
Yeah, it's a reflection of yeah of I think some planets like what was it? I don't want to call Pluto, but I'm gonna say Pluto. I'm gonna say Saturn, because Saturn got like icy rings too, right?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely Jupiter and the moon,
Uranus,
Neptune,
uh,
so icy.
yeah, every planet has like a layer or something, a barrier or something that's going to help protect it. Earth has like we have polar Antarctica walls surrounding the Earth, so it's at the top and at the bottom. Because like, how do you sustain something at the top and the bottom? How does it just stay there on the top of a globe? You know?
That could be our icy ring. Maybe we do have rings.
Yeah. Instead of being like this, it's probably like this and surrounding, the whole Earth. So that's my theory. It's like just going around, and you just don't have like one thing and just this down here. They say Antarctica is huge and it covers most of the bottom of the Earth. So if it covers most of the bottom of the Earth, and then you got the North Pole, and that's just as cold and frigid
Who said
as
that's
Antarctica.
the bottom though? Like, how you gonna say that's the bottom? That don't even make
Because
sense.
what the map shows us, that's what the map, you know, that's what the map has us, uh, visualizing in our head. Like put the visual right there, and then we're just putting it together. Like, oh, okay, Antarctica is automatically the bottom. All these years we look at the
Hmm.
same map, reflecting the same thing, the same position of where Antarctica is located. We think automatically, okay, it's on the bottom. Australia is over here. Why Australia ain't cold though? If Antarctica is just sitting at the bottom, Australia ain't too far from Antarctica.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
And
don't
then
none of that. Like their longitude and latitude don't make sense. The distance between the land masses. When you look at, like we talked about this yesterday, when you look at the culture of the people and how Australians do look like Hawaiians, that look like Central and South Americans, that look like, you know, what are those, the Southern Asians? Like they all kind of got the same Mongolian makeup. So
Yeah,
how
they
they
have that.
not all in the same region? Like, just certain things just not clicking from. Like, y'all could be tribal or national, whatever it is that y'all letting people, place upon you for division. But
Mhm.
like, guys, overall, still give off the Mongolian vibes.
They definitely have the same phenotype. You can't tell me them Eskimos don't look like Mexicans.
They do. They absolutely do. I
And the
peep.
Hawaiians look just like them as well. They just speak a different language and just have a different cultural, different cultural beliefs, views, practices. Uh, but they're all the same people to me. You ask me. So they're mongoloids or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that we broke down the three different categories of human beings on the earth?
Mm-hmm. The
Negro,
Negroid, the Caucasoid, and the Mongoloid.
mongoloids. That was the three. That was the three. The three main ones. So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, I could agree with that. I guess. Well, where the Arabs fit that, I guess they fit in with the mongoloids.
Yeah, Arabs look like a nice combination of the three, honestly. Or
Well, they
Mongoloid and
well they are. If you
Caucasian.
look at it. Well, they are though. When they were invading those lands and mixing and breeding amongst each other, because Greece and not too far from all that right there.
Mm-hmm.
So they just spread it further south, southeast to Africa.
I watched this whole video. I gotta watch it like 3 or 4 more times or stuff like, I need repetition a little bit for me to get it. But, she was going into the sons of Noah and how the sons of Noah, she started at the nipple of the earth, right at the North Pole, and she showed the map from going out that way and showed how the lands kind of actually fit into each other, and the land masses aren't as far apart as we think they are, and how like the map actually looked way different back then, which makes sense. Like if the tectonic plates are always moving, why are you showing us the same map but talking about a different period of history? Like that
You know
never made sense to me too.
what I'm
But
thinking
like
about
she
is this.
started there, she
I'm
showed
thinking like
how
that.
like the huh?
I said now describing it like that as well. I'm thinking like the North Pole sits in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The middle of the ocean somewhere. It's like that's because the Titanic ran into a damn polar ice, damn what is it called? I'm about to say igloo, iceberg,
Iceberg. But where was they at?
traveling from England to New York, right? So
I
from
don't know.
England to
I don't want to lie to you. I, I
yeah,
I never cared enough to be like, ooh, let me look into this. Like, okay. I heard one interesting conspiracy theory about the Titanic, and that was regarding the Federal Reserve and about them intentionally sinking the ship because there were some people on the ship that were against the Federal Reserve. But it was just like, why not just shoot those people on the ship? There was so many people on the ship. You could have like strangled them, left them in the bathroom, and kept them moving. You really had to like sink a whole fucking ship. That's
they be like no
crazy.
Africans come over here like you
Who
do
asked for
everybody
that?
else. But them people had bread, so I guess they had to go to war with them folks some type of way. Some live to tell it. They're all gone now, though.
I
Um,
guess so. But she started the lands off. Let's see. We got the Mesopotamian. This is how far back we went into the mermaid vibe. So we could go back even further to the Stone Age. In the Stone Age, they had cave drawings of mermaids on the walls. But we'll start with the Sumerians. So the Sumerians had the Oannes, which were like half man, half fish, and they were sent by Enki, which is the god of wisdom and waters. And
can you
Enki
minimize
actually,
the photo?
huh?
Can you minimize it? Can you minimize us to where we can see the photo in the back?
Uh, I want to because I
That's
wish I
Enki right
wasn't.
there, though, right?
This is supposed to be. I removed the remove. This is supposed to be Oannes, which is one of the what do you call them? Hold on, I got my notes.
Okay. The mud people.
It's called Apkalu and the Seven Sages. So Enki
Right.
is the god of wisdom. Enki and Lil and Anu, they actually created humans because they were supposed to come to Earth. So it was chaos on Earth, Titans. The Earth was like mostly water globe. So they came down to toil the soil. And they didn't really want to do the work. So they started making humans to do the work for them. The humans didn't really know how to do anything. They had to be taught how to do things. So they would what they did was they sent the seven sages because they not only did not want to do the work, they also did not want to teach the humans how to do the work. So they sent the seven sages, which are half man, half fish, and I believe some of them were half man, half bird, lion, snake, and they would come out the water as far as Apkalu, Owanis, which is who you see in the background. They won't let me change our layout. But
Oh,
they sent him out the water and they would teach the humans. They taught the humans science, arts, and how to write. And I find that interesting. We could say that Enki was around during the civilization that came before the Sumerians because the Ubadians were around before the Sumerians and they actually would draw a figure of half man, half reptilian. So maybe that was the sage of their era and then the merman became the sage of this era, which is cool. So the Sumerians are actually given credit for the establishment of all of civilization. Of course, they are whitewashed because what else would they be?
back when they
However,
1500.
right. However, it is a fact that Sumerians called themselves black-headed people because I mean, like, if I called myself black-headed people, like, what the fuck would I be? They really said because they wear black wigs. And all right, if that's what we're gonna go with, let's go with it, whatever. But when you get into the Bible, when we read the Bible and we talk about the sons of Noah, that was actually the establishment of the main seven civilizations of Sumeria, and how they were divided up. It's just the names are switched up and it shows. And also this comes back to my basis of fuck integration. It's all about coexisting because the fall of man was when those seven kingdoms started going into each other's kingdoms and started integrating and starting wars and conquering each other and stuff instead of doing trade and commerce and coexisting.
Mm-hmm.
um that further proves my point. We should not be integrating. We should be coexisting. It's a difference and it's just as harmonious and it does involve any cultural appropriation at all whatsoever. And it's very fun. I say we go for it. But that's neither here nor there. That's a side story. We're talking about mermaids today.
Yeah,
So
I was going to take a quick interjection on
yeah.
some of the black hands or whatever, and they want to whitewash it or whatever because Samaria is a part of Israel. Okay, so the Jewish people, um, they don't look like us, and we just couldn't possibly be the originals, right? So it's got to be them other folks,
Mm-hmm.
basically. But you look at their statues, their pictures, or whatever. All the folks they got ground beef on their chin and on their head. So I don't know no other tribe people that look like that other than us.
Yeah, we look like that. Those definitely look like cornrows.
Oh yeah, definitely Shorty thick too.
Shorty
She was.
thick.
I know.
It's another good one. Those is hips and
Yeah.
boobs right there, cuz. Um, This one right here, I like this one. And they kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like take the noses off of our figures. And that's how they get us. Like the very large telltales. Even the oldest, I actually saw earlier the oldest public painting of Jesus and his disciples were very, very dark men. They were like indigos. And they had the, and it looked like old art too. It had the same energy as the golden renaissance paintings that they give Caucasians credit for somehow. How we was ruling the areas for 700 years, and within like 30 years motherfuckers conquered and then came out with all the art and the sciences and the maths and the astrology and like that makes no sense. But okay, cool, we'll play your game, I guess, whatever.
I guess they, they have the right to all the publications and everything and all that. Whoever ruling over that area, whatever language is spoken, whatever the texts whatever language the texts are in, they rule and they own that and they run away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else.
And that's why I'm really not trying to play this like weird game with their. I know they have a caste system within their culture. Obviously, the Caucasian culture has a caste system just like we do. However, how they behave with their caste system is our caste system is more about socialization. We'll socialize with people in our caste system. As far as how they treat their caste system, it's more about knowledge. The lower you are on the caste system, the less access you have to knowledge. So a lot of their people in their culture does not have knowledge of self, does not have knowledge of their own people, their own whereabouts, culture, where they derive from. They don't have no knowledge, and they're not being given knowledge because they're seeing, the less money they have, further down they're seeing, and that bar is very high as far as being able to afford the knowledge within their culture. We don't really hide knowledge from each other. You have those certain people that try to make money off of knowledge that they have, and but it don't take much effort to bypass them and find the people that are going to give you knowledge in our community. We have no problem with giving each other we could walk past somebody on the sidewalk and see them struggling with their child and be like, oh, sis, if you you yeah, like we do the shit like that in a heartbeat. So we don't withhold knowledge. I think with us we withhold emotion and like emotional support, socializing and stuff like that. We're more of those kind of people. I won't, people. I ain't gonna chill with you because you ain't got no money. I don't chill with broke niggas. Like, like shit like that is our.
Like, don't need to add that on. We don't need to add
Yeah,
on.
and then it's just crazy because you got these people on the bottom of the caste system with the loudest fucking microphone on the highest fucking podium trying to tell us about our history, our culture, black on black crime. You got them in courtrooms being judges sentencing us. You got them as lawyers, like, to us, because we might think that those are jobs to aspire to have because we created those kind of jobs. Those were important jobs in our community and stuff. We established those jobs as Sumerians and Ubadians and Akkadians. And Sumerians just want to give that credit to Enki and the seven sages that Enki sent. And but those are not high up jobs in their caste system. So don't think that those individuals have a lot of knowledge because they don't. They just as dumb. It's really people that you don't even know what their names are. Those are the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. 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 So you have that kind of, energy going on. Yeah, we really went back on this one with the mermaids, but like, moving, forward a little bit, just a tad bit, in addition to, the story of Enki and coming to this realm, there were other cultures that also had like mermaids in their culture. Like you have the Scottish Isles in Scotland. They will call them Selkies.
Okay.
And as far as the Selkies go, wait. Before I move away from the Bible, let's go back to the Bible real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between mermaids and sirens. And that's what I meant when I said seven sages. Because some of them were half man, half fish. Half man, half fish is the mermaid. Uh Half man, half bird is the siren.
Like an albatross or something, right?
Yeah. They both
So how
essentially
do you
do the
perceive
same thing.
for for a bird, for a half bird? Because mermaids clearly don't fly. They weren't flying fish people, were they?
It's the French term because this is why we fuck up with cultural appropriation, because you'll have somebody half-ass learn another language or learn another culture, and then it'll sound like something else and they apply it to something else. So,
Right. Because
and
mermaids lezzarines.
yes, that
Lezzarines.
is the name for, yeah, mermaids in French, but that's in French. That doesn't mean take the word and call it sirens in English. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we think sirens and mermaids are the same thing, but they are not. They are two different animals. So yeah, there
But
you go.
when I was doing my research on like I said, with Haiti, right? Because they're
Mhm.
strong people and mermaids. About every and just about every Haitian has seen a mermaid or heard the story of someone seeing a mermaid. So that's very much well grounded in their culture. Um, the Mami Wata, Mother of the Water,
Mhm.
is a goddess or whatever. But they say the sirens of Greek mythology share a connection with Mami Wata. But I don't see the connection there because the Greek sirens will make a sound and it will lure sailors into shipwreck. You know what I'm saying? Into the end of their demise. But in the Haitian culture, the mermaid was worshipped, and she was beautiful, and she wasn't trying to kill you. She brought good luck and health and wealth and you know nurturing stuff like that. So I'm not even seeing how that is even in paralleling with that. Even when I'm doing the research, I'm like, okay, I see what they're saying, but that don't make no sense. Like, you reaching too hard to put that in with that, and that's not what that is. That's clearly a complete difference.
It's definitely the colonization of our culture. And when you get into like Buddhas and Brahmins and Bodhisattvas and all that, you'll see how when that area became colonized, because all those Buddhas were dark skinned to the point where they were indigo or they were violet. Like their skins used to be, and even now when you look at like certain goddesses, they'll still keep around the pictures that make them look green and blue and stuff like that, because you could play on that and say, oh, they're really Caucasians, they just made them vibrant colors. Like they like to play on that. But
Sure.
they created that skin tone color division over there, demonizing all the dark skinned gods, the deities and stuff over there, and then praising the
You're
light
right.
skinned ones. So essentially that's another like case of that, them demonizing Mami Wata, which is, a goddess that we give credit for
Mhm.
protection, fertility, beauty, music, song, you know, and it's another one of those stories where it's kind of like that Gemini vibe. It depends on who you ask, because if I live in Haiti and I'm channeling Mami Wata for protection, and you are a colonist and you're traveling the waters to get to my land to do what you try and do, you're not gonna fucks with her.
Yeah.
So your interpretation of my protection would be an attack.
Yeah. But like over here where we're from, yeah, them what you talking about ain't what's up. We don't fuck with that.
Right. So y'all don't even fuck with our guys. Our guys be
But
attacking
they
y'all while we
they
that just go to
demonized the
show.
whole area. They demonized the whole country. Then off of that, they're like they over there worshiping mermaids and shit. We killing these bitches. Yeah, yeah. All they just yeah, all they voodoo and shit. Yeah, that's just evil. Just bad, bad, bad. All they
Yeah,
ass is
that's
evil.
basically,
Let's go over there and show them the right way.
they never want to talk about the wars we won with voodoo. They never want to go there with us. That's unfortunate. They should try it sometime. Try me. But like, yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's like them demonizing our gods and our goddesses. So and eventually it did work, because our grandparents don't really fuck with magic and all the stuff we fuck with like that. Like they scared of it. They be trying
Yeah,
to deter us from utilizing it. So, you know, It worked
Child,
for a little while.
like it's herbs is good for you. You got to take them. They don't believe in that. They believe in taking medicine, not medicinal herbs, but chemical chemical medicine is made by a huge pharmaceutical company, because they have accreditations. They have the FDA, that the government sponsors for them and all that. So yeah, let's trust them rather than trust
Hmm.
you, Danielle, because you're not one of those people. You don't know any of that. You don't even have a PhD in any of that. So when did you get your accreditations? And when did you get your knowledge from? To try to prescribe me some herbs to help me out.
People give school too much credit.
Yeah,
School is not this space where people were learning shit and retaining knowledge for the rest of their fucking life. Like, y'all give school too much fucking credit. I remember being in school. I had some really good teachers. Don't get it twisted. I had some awesome teachers that really taught me stuff that I hold near and dear to my heart. However, I recall those teachers that I learned the most from also had to fight the hardest battles against their coworkers, their bosses, the board of education, and everything else to continue to teach us in the manner that they wanted to teach us. I remember them sucking their teeth and blowing and getting upset because they were working against the system to make sure that we were educated. And then I remember having those teachers that were just like, oh, we watching movies, we doing packets and stuff until it's time for testing. I'm gonna teach you all the information that you need to retain for the test. I'm gonna even let y'all take the open notebook test. Like we had hella open notebook tests. Like shit like that. Even in college. Like, bro, I remember my first year of college, and I'm a Virgo. I love to learn. So I self teach a lot. I love to read, I love to learn. I've always been like this ever since I was a kid. I have an infinite amount of freaking principal list certificates and shit. It's ridiculous. But I remember even in college, my freshman year, doing Mad Libs. You know what Mad Libs are when you fill in the verbs and the adverbs and the nouns to tell a silly story.
mm-hmm.
So I remember being in English class and doing Mad Libs with somebody, and they really didn't know what verbs were, noun were. And mind you, I'm in a room with 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds, we freshmen in college, and I'm explaining to you what a noun is and a verb is so we can finish this Mad Lib in our college English course. Why am I
Wow.
doing Mad Libs in college? Let's address that.
Yeah, what was
Like what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like y'all give school too much fucking credit, bro. School is easy if you know how to do school. School is easy. I did school. School was easy. School was something that I learned how to conquer. Yeah, I learned, but I also learned how to do school. Like I know how to walk into this room,
that's
pass
your
these
mentor?
classes. Yeah, like this shit easy, especially if they give
That's
you a syllabus on day one. It's silly to lose.
mm-hmm.
If I tell you what the whole school year is going to look like, what dates, what papers are going to be due, what dates the tests are going to be on, if I give you literally the blueprint to the course, how could you lose? You are literally choosing to lose. Y'all give school too much credit. So somebody saying, oh, I'm a doctor and I went to school for X amount of years, I'm not impressed. Sorry. I went to school with doctors. I went to work with doctors. I used to work in healthcare. They're not that fucking bright. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, they're still students themselves. Still, that's why they have to keep learning and reading and shit too. They don't know
But they're like
everything.
the worst kind of students because they're fucking obnoxious as shit. They're the
Very.
worst students. Someone tried to use the school system as a credit to make them seem prestigious than they really are. I laugh myself. Yeah, like it's funny. Like, bro, that's not a big accolade to me because I went to school. Whoop-de-doo. It's not as crazy. The most it is time consuming and it can get overwhelming because they will give you a bunch of work at the same time, but it's literally 5-page papers. I've been doing 5-page papers in 8th grade, and it was crazy because when I was in
Yeah.
middle school they were making it seem like college was going to be crazy. You're going to do 10-page papers, it's going to
It's
be
the same work.
ooh. I wrote a 30-page paper my senior year of high school on neurotransmitters because I missed half the year because I was pregnant. My science teacher gave me the paper back and was like, I didn't want you to do 30 pages. You only had to do 4 or 5. She's like, but I enjoyed reading it. Like, I
Yeah, but
never had to do a paper that big in college. Like, nobody's ever required that from me. School is
yeah.
dumb. Like, I be trying to stress to people how I don't know how to word how intelligent I am, but it's just natural. I love to learn. When you have that love for learning, that you're attracted to it, there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing you can't do. Now, if you're not one of those people, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just not. Me and
And also,
Danielle learned
you gotta
all
learn
this shit
to teach yourself.
yesterday.
Teach yourself. You gotta learn how to just go research and look for information. So you gotta have a certain discernment as well. Because a lot of shit that people taught me, that my teacher taught me in school, I'm like, oh, that don't make no sense. Let me go and try to just research some of this shit by myself or whatever. Aside of that,
Hmm.
because teaching me, it's not clicking with me. Not that I'm slow, it's just that I'm just on a higher learning level for real, than what you are programmed to teach us. That's what,
Hmm.
you know,
You're right. The first 2 years of college is bullshit. They just give you, and that's the business part of it too, because it's not like they charging you less money. It's the same amount of money. You just wasted like $20,000 on the first 2 years of your school for what? Just to do the same shit you did in high school. 'Cause I definitely did, and I was trying to fast track my way out of there. It didn't make it any cheaper. You still paying for them credits.
most definitely. Like,
Yeah, you got to remember them teachers. They be have is a lot of them schools. I didn't go to a big college because I don't like big classrooms. That was one thing that was on my list of things I didn't want in school. I didn't want a big classroom because I'll get lost. And so I went to Kane and up North Jersey. And usually you want 3 to 5 pages, and even with their small ass classrooms with like 20 kids in their class, they're not trying to read 20 pages from 20 kids, and they got like 3 or 4 classes. Like that's a lot of shit for them to do too. So like yeah, they're not really. And a lot of my college professors were like college graduates. You only need your bachelor's to be a college professor.
right.
Now to be a graduate student professor, yeah, you need your master's, but a master's was only an extra 2 years in psychology. And I don't know if you guys ever taken psychology. Well, once you take psychology 101, you basically took like all the psychologies. Like you're literally learning the same thing over again. Like if you look at my school program and you look at the semesters I was taking psychology, I literally just had those were the best semesters of my life. I had
That was
straight like
cool.
4.0s and shit. You're literally taking the same class over and over and over again. You're going to
Yeah,
read
but that,
about Freud 1,000 million times. You're going to read about social conditioning and Pavlov 1,000 million times. And you're going to read about, what's the guy? His last name begins with the letter C. And he had a weird ass niece. Eric somebody. You're going to read about him. Like, you're going to read about the same people over and over again. You're going to learn about all the theories. And that's it. Like, that's what we're doing.
they put that
Um,
having people to read all those paper, include outside proofreaders and other students. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I
yeah, they
remember our
do.
teachers. Yeah,
I
my
remember our
teachers
teacher used to try to make that an exercise. We're gonna grade each other's papers. Like,
read through and grade these papers and look. I'm not gonna read all this shit. The handwriting I couldn't even read. This is when we was still really writing, not so much
mhm.
papers all the time.
Or they had us grading our own papers at the end. Like, you're gonna learn how to check your own work. No,
Yeah,
this
check
means that
out.
we gonna split your paycheck on Friday. I hope it's pizza day.
Yeah.
Hope you bring a snack on Friday when you get paid. Uh-huh.
Oh, you know what? I had those teachers that did. There were some that did. Yeah, as a kid,
For
I'm not
real.
pizza parties. You forget about that college.
Yeah. Well, all that to say,
This is
this
expensive.
Matrix is dumb. It just goes to show you how dumb like their imitation of our natural being is. It's like on so many facets. On so many facets. But yeah, so like them demonizing. Okay, so them colonizing and demonizing the mermaids, right? Scottish Isles. So they all have personal stories. So when you get to Scotland, the Selkies, they're shapeshifters and they live as seals in the sea and then they transform as humans when they're on land. And then They're also called Maidian Marta, which is maiden of the sea. In Western Europe, they have it's called Melusine, Melusine, and they're serpents with fish tails and wings. So they like birds and fishes, and that's probably where the siren and mermaid thing came into play because they really just like made them into one animal over there in West Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the story behind her being demonic was she was a girl trying to get revenge on her human father because of her mermaid mother. I believe her mother was raped by the father, so she'd be going on the boats or drowning the boats to look for him. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So
In 1995, over in that area, they made the mermaids the symbol of the transgender youth group in the United Kingdom because mermaids are shapeshifters and genderless. So it's only right that they become the symbol of transgender people.
hell, they said they're genderless. What shit? They got most. Well, from research that I was doing, they said most of the mermaids were female.
We're female, right? That's what I
Yeah, most of
saw.
them were.
Majority were female. And then the males were like ugly and they were really like fish. They weren't like human. They weren't as humanoid as the women were.
And if they say if they mate or whatever, they laid eggs. I was like, how does that work?
Oh, they laid eggs?
Yeah, they lay eggs like like how a seahorse would do or whatever, and fertilize. Like, oh, not a seahorse. My bad. A seahorse passes her eggs to the male. He carries them till he gives birth to them. Like a chicken. You know what I'm saying? The female would lay the egg, and then the male would come and fertilize the eggs. I'm just really not seeing that.
Mm.
And me thinking of half human, half fish. How's that happening or whatever? What kind of eggs are you laying? And then, yeah, you're laying eggs and then fertilize them. So they didn't have sex. They didn't have the sexual intercourse, you know, physically.
Interesting.
Yeah, they didn't have that. That's what they said. But it's so much mixed up information on mermaids, depending on from what country you're getting this information from. Uh,
I'm gonna go with the Sumerians. It feels good in my spirit. I'm with it. I'm here for it. Cause then that also gives like that
they have
also
male
makes sense, huh?
in the Sumerian culture. They had male and female. They did acknowledge them that they had females too.
Thinking about the culture of Sumeria though, they didn't really like women were allowed to have stuff like women were allowed to be masculine as far as having businesses and all that shit too, but in the realms of like romantic endeavors, women were not seen as equal to men. Like if a woman was caught cheating, she would get killed. If a man was caught cheating, he might get fined. Men could like just divorce their wives by just saying, "I don't fuck with you no more, ho." And women, they actually had to prove like that man was either abusing her or being practicing infidelity in order for her to be able to divorce him. But men were still allowed to go sleep with prostitutes and fucking go to whorehouses and stuff if they wanted to, and they were allowed to have concubines. Women weren't. So and I don't know what that is with the matters of the heart and why it's so imbalanced in realms. And then when women try to recreate a balance, it's like, no, bitch, go sit back down where you belong. Like that is so fucking weird to me. But whatever.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
don't do.
battle that we've been fighting since the beginning of time.
Yeah, they don't want it to be. They don't want the scales to be balanced on that part at all. They don't want these scales
No.
like the position that a woman plays. Far as like with ruling a nation or anything. Like women are in the background. We're only advisors and helpmates. We're not fit to make decisions for the whole country or the world or what have you.
But
We're
that's the thing. Back then they were like they were allowed to do all that except for you. You can be a empress. You can call yourself a king. These were like women were allowed to do everything but control their romantic lives. Like I find that so fucking weird. How come we're allowed to do everything but have a say so in our pussies?
because you run off with another motherfucking nigga who's better than him. Shit, it's over with. You Come on
That
now.
insecurity has been going on since before biblical times. Like, come on, guys, grow a pair of balls at this point.
Yeah,
It's been like 10,000 fucking years. We gotta stop repeating this history. And then the
like,
guys were very rapey. Like, they would go into the mermaid caves.
with
Oh,
Rome or
you
whatever.
talking? I can't hear you. I ain't hear nothing you just said. I didn't even know you was talking.
Oh, me?
Yes.
All I was saying, we're not supposed to have control of our romantic life because imagine you got a damn nigga over here and you run off with another nigga who's a ruler of another damn country and shit. Hell, him having access to you was having access to this fucking country and shit. He's about to take over. Hell, no, niggas ain't allowing that shit. No.
He was like,
No.
nah, I watched him watching Cleopatra. She was out there getting it, acting the fuck
That's what I
up.
was saying. That's what I'm saying. I just said about Cleopatra and shit. You go over there fucking with Caesar over there and goddamn, what is it? Rome, Greece, whatever. No. We already been invaded. Bloody niggas. You about to fuck it up again, sis.
For real.
Yeah,
For real.
we need to just be off that bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta
Jesus.
stop that pattern though.
That's
Let women do what they want to do with their pussies. If, and then if you're in a relationship, reciprocity is key. So if you want her to have sister wives, prepare for brother husbands. The fuck we talking about right now?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I'm a Leo rising. So if you have time for me and another person, I'm probably bored and you probably have a brother husband that you're not aware of. But
Right.
I will say right now, I have been chilling. You know, I have no choice. I'm chilling like a villain. Can't wait for my healed girl summer. That healed girl summer finna be lit. You heard me.
Okay, that Hill Girl summer. It's coming. 2023. Might even be
2023 healed girl summer.
yeah.
I'm gonna get my
Spring too, sis. Spring.
husband.
When the
But
love
yes,
is
coming back to these motherfucking mermaids. So guys would go inside of the women mermaid caves and steal their stuff. Like they would steal their mirrors or their combs or whatever little trinkets that the mermaids had, and they would hide it in their house. And for as long as the mermaid couldn't find it in their house, they would the mermaid would be stuck with the man and she would have to stay human. And that fucking sucks. And that's very rapey. And there's a lot of stories like that in mythology that I do not appreciate. Like all the gods that will lure the women into their realms and then rape them and get them pregnant and be like, oh, we're in love now. Like, I think that's weird. I think all of that is very weird energy.
yeah, that is. That is very sus. Like all this women walking around with 2 legs you could have had, yo. You want to get a
You have to steal
mermaid
a mermaid? That's weird.
because of her beauty, right? And her power. But I'm this what I okay. Well, here's another thing though. Didn't they have powers and shit too though?
Yeah, they
So how
did
you
have
gonna
magical powers.
have all these powers?
So it's probably kind of like stealing a genie. Oh, that makes sense. Because
Oh,
when you think about the way a genie is set up, it's like the long ass tail and then the human top coming out of the trinket. Um,
I was thinking like that mirrors and that brush or whatever, you know what I'm saying, is part of the accessory or extension of their powers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Their mirrors a lot of self-reflection and shit, and their combs and their hair, adornment of,
that makes
and
sense
some
too. I like that. I like that.
yeah, when you take that away from them, they ain't got that self-esteem no more. You know what I'm saying? So they go down. They ain't got that self-love and shit no more, sis. So now you holding this nigga you holding this bitch captive, right, in your motherfucking home and shit. She ain't got no reason to be swimming around freely and shit, having niggas look at her beautiful ass. You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't got no mirror to protect herself no fucking more. But I'm like, why you taking the reflection of the water though? Look at yourself, sis.
That sounds like some real pimp shit though. Like you break a bitch and then put her in your house.
Yeah, that is.
That's crazy. Crazy. But that's what they used to do, just out here being real rapey. The earliest mermaid legends appeared in Syria around 1000 BC with the goddess Atar. She dove into the lake in the form of a fish. Greek
Because
mythology.
she killed her side nigga.
Is that what happened? I don't know the story. What's the story?
She killed her side piece by
And then
accident.
she dove in the. So that was
Yeah,
a suicide mission.
she turned herself into a fish. I'm gonna tell you why she did that. Remember? Because remember, we go back to when they said that women couldn't have affairs and shit like that, or they'll get killed. Right?
Right.
I don't know how you're gonna kill a goddess, but I guess the same rules
They be
apply.
trying.
Okay, so she murked that nigga to cover up the fact that she was cheating. So she had to dispose of the evidence. All right, she disposed of the evidence some type of way. Then she popped her ass in the fucking sea and became a fucking mermaid. Was like, well, the rules don't apply anymore because I'm half fish, half human. So yeah, y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Oh, she tried to cheat the system, huh? That was smart. I fucks with it.
I want to know why she killed that nigga though. She got caught up.
That's
She killed
funny.
by accident. Maybe he died on top of her.
She drowned him. It had to be something to do with a drowning or something. A lot of okay, so the other one was because some of them had personal stories as to why they were like doing stuff.
They don't
And
really go
Greek
together how they were doing what they were doing. They just giving us a generalization of like, there's a general story. I'd be wanting to know all the details because I'm just really curious about that.
and Greek, I wanted to find more Aboriginal centered stories or Native American, but it was like just oversaturated with European stories as far as like, they try to make it seem as if only Vikings and colonists and explorers and conquistadors were in the oceans or whatever. But like
Yeah, they
the
got
Greek
ideas
folk said,
from Europe and shit because they the only motherfuckers who ever seen mermaids. Like, I ain't never heard an English motherfucker tell me that they seen a mermaid. I've been to Germany. I ain't never heard of a German motherfucker tell me they seen no mermaid. I ain't never heard. I've been to France. I ain't never heard no French. I've been to Portugal. I ain't ever heard no Portuguese talking about they ever seen a freaking mermaid ever.
it was more like
You don't have
Scotland.
stories.
Well, Greek folktale is Alexander the Great sister actually was a mermaid. Thessaloniki. I don't know, something like that. Let's just call her Thessa for short. So Thessa was
Okay,
transformed into a mermaid upon her death in the Aegean Sea. So over there in that area, we're still coming back to the Mediterranean. We always come back to this place. Because these are where the area where the seven seas are.
the seven
And that's
stages.
also another thing they were trying to say there aren't really seven oceans, it's just the seven seas. But the maps are wrong. They lying to us.
So what's the difference between an ocean and a sea, sis?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna look it up.
It was in my mind to look deeper into it, but I had so many tabs open.
This is why they say that.
I have so many
Don't
tabs open.
what you were saying about the earth, like the area of the land and shit is a lot more than. Hold on, you said something. I'm going back to the rules. First, talk about like Pan deal, in the beginning of the podcast. Okay. Um, you said something about the area of the earth and like the amounts of water is not as vast or whatever as they make it to be on the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's why they say ocean versus sea. In terms of geography, seas are smaller than oceans that are usually located where the land and the ocean meet. So you got a lot more land, and you got oceans you got seas in between those lands or whatever, like the Red Sea. So maybe the Indian Ocean is the Indian Sea. Maybe the Atlantic is the Atlantic Sea. You know what I'm saying? The Pacific is the Pacific Sea. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by there being that big piece of land, Atlantis, what once was right there, smack dab in the middle, that was connected like to Africa, Europe, North and South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, so typically seas are partially enclosed by land. Seas are found on the margins of the ocean and are partially enclosed by land. Like the Bering Sea is a part of the Pacific Ocean. Let me zoom in on it. But it still doesn't make it clear. Like, why is it still blurry? But the Bering Sea is right there, that gap in between Russia and Alaska. That's why I would say you could literally like just you can swim to Alaska.
You should be able to walk over there. They were trying to make Palin sound like she was crazy. She wasn't fucking crazy. When all that shit melt, you're gonna be able to walk over there.
Yeah, it's only like 50 miles away.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad.
So why they don't have Eskimos in Russia? Or why they ain't got Russians?
Why they make it seem like we so far? We're not that far. So how can that ocean space, and that's why I don't like how they have the map open like that. It's like you took a ball, you sliced it, and wherever you want, you could have sliced it here, you could have sliced it anywhere and opened it up. But you chose to slice it where America is in the middle, little ass continent, whatever the fuck.
Oh,
And
because
open it like this.
they try to do a gameplay on like the size of the lands and shit, and like how much it's like a psychological thing. Like if you put America, they say America is just as large as the Sahara Desert, right? So when you compare, you could fit a whole America inside of Sahara Desert, which is the largest desert in the freaking world, right? Africa is the largest continent in the world, right? They're comparing America to Africa, saying that we are just as big as the Africans. So when you have other countries like, what's a smaller country? What's a smaller the European countries like Germany, France, all that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They make Europe seem a little small. They make Europe seem a little smaller. It's big, but it seems they make it a little smaller. They make Russia and China not seem so big compared to America, you know, North America on the world map. That's basically
sometimes they just group those together and just call them Eurasia, and they be all one.
They do call it Eurasia sometimes too, because I've heard them refer to that plenty of times when I was, a kid coming up, yeah, Eurasia. And to me, China doesn't look that huge on the map, though. You know what I'm saying? Even though China is like, what is it, the largest?
You're supposed to be able to fit all the continents into Africa. That's how big Africa is. But then I was watching this YouTube video earlier, which I want to dig further into, where she was going back to like Bible verses in Jubilee, and then going back to the story of Noah and how the lands were split between his sons, which is supposed to be the beginning of nations, and showing how like the compass is set up from the top of the earth. And the way that was set up, it was showing that we're actually on Africa. And what happened with colonization was their goal was they were trying to bring back Babylon. And that's why you'll hear a lot of individuals call America Babylon. The goal was to bring back Babylon. So they tried to hide this land over here off the map for a little while until everybody forgot about it. And then once it became forgotten, then they miraculously added it back on, and now they have to pay for voyages to explore the land. And I was like, what? That's crazy.
Me analyzing this map right here that we have with this, right? Okay, you see what I'm talking about in like the comparison of like the continents to each other, and how North America makes itself seem like it's a lot larger than Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Germany is like the size of like Georgia, so they say, right? Or a little larger.
That shit look like the size of Delaware. That's like little shit.
Look how you got North America, then you look at Atlantis, right?
Mm-hmm.
North America, let's say Atlantis ain't there no more, like how it is, gone or whatever. You put North America right there in between there. They say it takes like what, 8 hours or so to travel from Europe to North America. I'm trying to remember the flight. I think it took me like 9 hours to travel from Germany to here to Baltimore or whatever. Okay, but to fly from one end of North America, like from Baltimore to California, don't take 8 hours. So the distance of North America from one end to the other is not accurate with flying from Europe. So according to this map right here, flying from Europe to America. You know what I'm saying? Just the tip, just the edge right. So the
And it would
line
also
about
be the routes they be choosing, the routes that they be taking too. They fly in very weird directions,
Mm-hmm.
and I often wonder what that's about. That's another rabbit hole I want to dig down. Like why are the flight pathways the way they are? I'm confuzzled. I look forward to learning more.
Yeah, because they'll fuck around and goddamn be like, yeah, we're gonna fly from Germany, but then we're gonna fly over Russia. We're gonna go from China just to get to California, according to this damn map right here, because that'll be closer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we'll hit Africa and then hit. Yeah. How many days did it take? What they say about the slave trade? How many days it took, or whatever? How many weeks it took to get from North America to Africa on the flow ass ship?
I have no idea, but like they wasn't that far for it
They
to
weren't
be such a
that far.
strenuous route. It was hella land out there. Y'all could have walked if y'all really knew the maps.
Jesus walked it within a few days. 4 days for him to walk from where to Italy from Jerusalem, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 days walk. So
That's a 4-day walk.
Very
Yeah,
close.
that's close. And the
You talking
land
about
masses were very closer back then.
hold on, let me see. I got
Especially if everybody was still kind of living at the top. Like everybody still was kind of in the same region.
I'm put one spread out like
As
that.
far as the history that we bother to read, like the history we're aware of, everybody's still kind of in the same region. So why wouldn't you just go back to the top of the lands and go that way?
My folks did a lot of walking back then, honey. So I always thought about like, damn.
I mean, they had horses and stuff. Like, it's carriages out here. They had the wheel already. They had the wheel for a long time.
But they made it seem like they did a lot of
They
walking and
probably
shit.
had cars.
They look like they did more walking than riding. Only the rich people could afford wheels and chariots and shit.
True.
It's about to be like that now. Hell, the damn price of one tire go up to $400.
They was way worse with the caste system. But at the end of the day, everybody had their own shit though. Like, you had your own land, you could still grow your own food. Wasn't nobody in your way of doing that shit. You just was poor, and ain't nobody want to chill with you. Nobody want to chill with your broke ass. You don't get to come to the parties, cuz broke niggas don't feel joy.
Yeah, they definitely. Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, so Alexander the great sister Thessa,
Yeah, the mermaid.
yeah, she
So
threw
that's
herself into
right,
the Aegean Sea.
right? Because Alexander the
When
Great
people
is then, right?
Alexander the Great was known for almost taking over the world as he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, exaggerating on the map to make it seem like he really was like taking over the whole world.
I mean, he might have
But
thought taking over like a few countries or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's why I said as he
They
knew it.
they ain't discovered America yet. You know what I'm saying? So that was the world, what they knew.
Yeah, what they knew. He almost had the whole board. He almost won.
Almost
But
as
when
bad
his
as grenades.
yeah. Well, when he would conquer lands, he would automatically take over the military, and that's really what it was. The military getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
when people would pass her in the ocean, she would ask them a question. She would be like, "Is my brother Alexander still alive?" And if you didn't have the right answer, she would sink your ship. Your answer was supposed to be like, "Alexander lives forever because he's amazing." Yeah. And if you didn't say that shit, if you said, "Nah, he dead," like she would sink your ship. Even if
Oh,
he was dead.
so I'm looking up Alexander the Great right here, right? King of Macedonia,
Mhm.
right? Alexander the Third, right? Of Macedon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this old smooth head, um, you say his sister name was what again? But they don't want to mention his sister's name right there. Hmm. What's his sister? What was his sister's name again? The Great.
What'd you say?
Oh, I was asking what his sister's name was again.
Oh, Thessalonique, Nike,
Okay, yeah,
Thessaloniki.
like, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a picture of him holding up his sister right here. Okay. Clearly, she has a fin. I mean, a mermaid.
Alright. She is a mermaid.
She clearly is a mermaid.
That's what's up.
Wow. So if they put that into history that his sister was a mermaid, so then mermaids were real then, right?
I mean, yeah, could you really just twisted history and mythology together? But I mean, I think they're real.
Who
Like,
is Daddy Philip then? I got to look. His daddy was Philip II.
I feel like they were here probably like a long, long time ago. Like, if we had so many like different like bodies and stuff here that you know and then like I'm a bit of a Darwinist. Like I believe that, as you no longer need certain like genotypes and phenotypes, you probably still have them embedded in your DNA, but like you're not really born with them anymore.
Sis, if I was a nigga back there, I wasn't gonna fuck no fish. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I ain't gonna.
They was kidnapping fish. I don't know but they would turn into humans while once they were kidnapped though.
Yeah, well, his sister didn't get kidnapped. She was still flapping around in the water. Okay,
No, yeah, she was sinking ships. She was
so
killing niggas just like her brother.
his father was Philip II of Macedon, and then Olympias was his mother. Okay, okay, I ain't gonna hold you right there. Okay, she kind of looked like she might have been a bad bitch,
Oh yeah, she was killing niggas. She did it.
and she got that. You see that serpent around her neck? Ooh, all right. So
Okay.
Olympia's
Okay.
mother.
I feel the
Okay,
vibes.
so so he must have had an outside chick then,
I say that.
because the mother wasn't a mermaid.
No,
She's
she
from.
didn't turn into a mermaid until she threw herself into the lake. She killed herself.
Oh, that was her.
Well, I mean, I don't know if she killed herself. They just said like she went into the Aegean Sea upon her
Oh,
death.
so that was Philip's mother who killed herself. I mean, who threw herself into the water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, okay. And then daddy held her captive or whatever, or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. So that happened after she was an adult. The mermaid thing wasn't really a genetic thing.
Oh, okay, got you.
It didn't happen until she died. She was reborn into a mermaid.
Philippians was a Greek princess of Molossinus, Molossinus, Colossians. They got the weirdest names in Greek. I hate that shit. I
But
hate
they sound real
pronounce.
ghetto at the same time though. Like they sound like our names of today. Like with those the football player names right now. Like those kids' names are crazy. Who was out here walking around with that name their whole life?
Like olive, palomolive, whatever shit. Like
Yeah. Thelonious. Like, okay, where's y'all from? Y'all definitely from over there somewhere.
yeah, they are Greek names. Yeah, a lot of the
Yeah, y'all
fraternities
bringing back the Greek names. That's crazy.
based on Greek shit. A lot of sorority fraternities are based on like Greek, shit though.
Oh, they probably do have fucking sorority and fraternity parents, and I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that makes sense for them to give their kids those kind of names.
Well, not necessarily they gave them those names or whatever, but I'm just mentioning that, what I'm saying, because a lot of black people are in for sororities and fraternities. And
We got a lot of black Greeks out here, and honestly, that's probably a cycle in their life. They probably were the black Greeks. That's why if they feel so comfortable with motherfuckers yelling in their face and beating their ass just for them to be a part of something.
now how they
I
join the
don't think
sororities
I'm a Greek.
are like how they feel about themselves or whatever fraternity or sorority group they want to join, organization they want to join is about like the characteristics of themselves or whatever. I guess that's supposed to be like that too.
True. I wanted to be an AKA for a long time, and then I started hanging out with the Zetas. Then I wanted to be a Zeta. Something about a Zeta.
So Alexander the Great mother turned herself into a mermaid. So we can believe that story is to be true because it actually occurred. And Alexander the Great was a real person. We know he was a real person, okay?
Mhm.
Um,
I was sold in the story of creation with the Sumerians.
but they don't have
I was
any. They don't have any Sumerian mermaids in history.
The Sumerians were the ones that had the seven sages from Enki. Those were the ones that said that they got all their knowledge from mermaids, from the sages. You had the mermaids, the sirens, and the half per and that makes sense because if you look in the pyramids, if you look in the walls and the caves out there, they have the hieroglyphs of the half man, half fish, half man, da, 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 half man, half this. And then think about the story of Jesus and how they always associate him with some fish type energy. He probably was a sage.
Oh, because he could walk on water or some shit, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, because he flows too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I I feel that. I
He brought the wisdom.
think it was
They
Virgo though.
just That makes sense. Cause we
Is
do
it?
be cleaning up,
He was
huh?
conceived in December and he was born in September.
Okay, that makes sense.
That what the Jehovah's Witnesses said. I studied with Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what they said. That's why they don't celebrate Christmas and shit. Because they get into the whole context about shepherds being out herding their cattle and shit like that. And there aren't shepherds herding around that time, during the winter or whatever, because it's colder
Okay.
and shit. Mm-hmm. So I said he was September. One of us, I remember. This is interesting stuff. So okay, so yeah, mermaids are real. Not just based off the fact that Alexander the Great sister was a fish, half fish, and his mother turned herself to one of them. But
Jesus was a fish. Jesus also was a zombie.
can we say he was a mermaid?
Can we call him a mermaid? He was a Virgo mermaid.
Virgo mermaids gotta be fine.
That's kind of fire.
Why would he not be a mermaid? Yeah, according to the story, he ain't he's not fornicating with nobody. He's coming to heal people. People worship him.
Hmm.
He only ate fish, I believe, for real.
All mermaids eat is dolphins. Oh, and that was another theory somebody had. They was like, oh, that's probably why dolphins fuck with humans because they look so much like mermaids. And I was like, ooh, ooh.
Possibly. But dolphins will drown your ass too. Break you and drown you. I ain't fucking with 'em. So we hear a lot about the female mermaids, though. Like I said, a lot of them are female, so we don't hear too much of male mermaids. What are famous male mermaids that we know of?
That's all I've been hearing about with the seven stages. Those was all dudes. The only time I hear about female mermaids was with the Mami Wata, the when they try with the all the sirens and um mostly European culture. I hear they become more feminine. I start to read more feminine mermaids and the men actually being like fish looking and ugly. In Ireland they're called merrows and the women have long green hair and the male merrows are more fish than men and they're very grotesque and cruel and they're very ruthless. Um in Southeast Asia they're more feminine. You have Savannah Maka, which means golden fish, and she helped Hanuman build a bridge across the seas with stones, and then they fell in love. And that also brings on that energy of mermaids being good luck and help assistance and fertility and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
Where was I
But
at when
that
you was? I swear I was right here. Well, we are having a little trouble with the sound and stuff too. I don't know why I thought one of the stages were female though.
because of this. Oh, this was one of the joints you shared with me with the woman. She was a siren with the she had the talents
Yeah, that was the sister
to be.
of
Yeah.
Inky. Yeah, that was the sister of Inky.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Who are their parents then?
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
What else? Yeah, that's what I got. Those are the different cultures I have. The Chaldeans, they have Chaldeans have Enki or Ea, which is the sea god.
So we can't mix up Sumerians with Samaritans.
No, the Sumerians were from Sumer. That's like the most influential community, well, civilization known to man of today because they're the first writings that were discovered and then utilized as the blueprint with their cuneiform was the name of their written language.
With Samaria?
Yeah, no, Sumer.
Oh, Sumer.
Yeah, they're Sumerians from Sumer, yeah. And I think in the Bible is
Oh,
Nimrod.
they still were part of the northern part of Israel, just like the Samaritans were as well. They were another tribe um, from northern Israel as well, though. So that's all. Like, so they got to be around there somewhere with near each other because they sound similar. Like like Eritrea, Ethiopia, kind of thing going on.
Hmm.
They said it considered Samaritanism to be the true religion of the ancient Israelites and regard Judaism as a closely related but altered religion. Judea, when Judea and Samaria refers to all the area surrounding South Korea, English, Ixion, and Argentine, but the name Samaria on the other hand. Okay, so Samaria is land above, well, an area above.
Yeah, that's all that in the that whole Fertile Crescent, that Mediterranean area I be talking about, where they
Mm-hmm.
say the Garden of Eden is over there. That's where the four horsemen is supposed to rise up at once the rivers dry up. But then it's like blew my mind because it's like, okay, if that's the area, also also coming back to the falsehood of the map. So let me do my homework on that one. I think as above, so below, as within, so without. I feel like we are witnessing parallel universes. Honestly, one is like we're literally looking right over the ocean, over the way to a parallel, because we all went through the same shit.
I'm looking at it like in the beginning, right? Comparing it to how the Bible describes the Garden of Eden and how the Sumerians describe like how they made and created humans to till the land and farm land, right? And they didn't want to do that. Now, call me
Mhm.
crazy, but I'm just saying, I don't think God taught Adam how to, do what he was supposed to do in the land when they made that boo boo with Eve. You know what I'm saying? He got kicked out of the land. Now he had to learn how to do this shit outside the garden on his own. Same kind of like, I don't know, kind of similar. I kept thinking about that as you were describing it at the beginning of the show.
Mm.
Mm. Because, like I said, yesterday when we were talking, um, because he already had other creations, of people around, but there was no one to till the land. He was farming to till the
Mhm.
land, and so I'm just putting that with the Sumerians, somebody to grow food and to be a farmer and shit like that. They ain't gonna teach their ass how to do that. That's got crazy about that. What y'all
Like,
said in
dang,
the
I didn't
beginning?
even want to teach niggas. Y'all fucking suck. So
I
y'all created humans, then y'all created other humans to teach the other humans.
the only people on the planet not showing them how to do shit. That's why I need to fucking
Meanwhile,
out.
the gods is killing each other, sleeping with the humans, creating demigods,
We
doing
just
all this
advanced
nonsense, and y'all just out there chilling. Still chilling. That's a part of the problem.
playing games, yo, playing games. But I was
Being
really looking at,
lazy.
I was really pondering about that. I was like, yeah,
They
and so
really guilted us and conditioned us into
they
labor
did that,
while
and here's
they
the
be chilling.
thing, of that same area is around with the Garden of Eden. So I'm saying like somebody remixed the story off of the story. You know what I'm saying?
The
To
story is
me,
that Moses remixed the story off the story, because when the Akkadians took over the Sumerian Empire, they took their mythologies, quote unquote, with the mermaids and the sages and Enki and Enlil and all that, and began writing the Bible. Moses was a Levi. I believe the Levites are a neighbor of the Akkadians, or they were underneath the Akkadian Empire at some point in time. But Moses was the writer of said stories, and so that was their when niggas take over an empire, first thing they do is get rid of the religion, they burn all the books, and then they recreate the books, they put their statues up, they blow up the statues that's on the land, they rape the women, they steal the children, raise them up in labor, they kill the men. Like, same art of war, different era. They all do the same shit. Very weird energy, but whatever. That's why we can't get shit together now.
mm,
But that was the story behind that. That's why it felt like so many similarities, because the nature of man to keep rewriting people's stories every time they conquer their nations.
yeah, that's what happens. Just like they renamed the countries and shit. Just like you had Afrikaners rename Africa after Hannibal was defeated.
I think it was a Fia at first.
There's a lot of different names. I've heard it was called Kemet. I've heard it was called Alapucan. I've heard it was called so many different names. Africa was so many different
So
names.
Kemet is not the entire landmass.
They
Kemet
just had,
is North Egypt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I've read too, but then they said, Africa was once called Kemet or whatever. Or maybe that was just Africa to them in Egypt. And I guess they
Well,
left out the
not Egypt. You're right. The border is not Egypt. It is most of North Africa. It was bigger than Egypt
mm-hmm.
because
They don't mention that
they
about
separated North and South Egypt. There was an empire that separated North and South Egypt, and then there was that back and forth, like how North and South Korea is. That's how
yeah,
Egypt used to
yeah,
be back and forth like that.
yeah, everlasting.
But yeah, North Africa, you're right. All of that was under Kemet, and then like you just had different parts called different things because everybody was more so tribal. So this is my
Mm.
tribe, this is the name of my tribe, and if we're in this land, this is our land. And at the end of the word, we would put ITE at the end of it because it's our land, it's our terrain.
We got an episode about that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah, that's coming up in a few episodes from now. Oh, let's show the video of the we have the video of the explosion that happened in the sea from the Navy and about them trying to blow up the tunnels, the Mermaid tunnels.
I cannot do that from where I'm at. I wish I could.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it wouldn't let me upload it on here
Okay.
for some reason. I do have it in my phone, and we can definitely share it as a trailer in our on our page, so you guys can check out um our IG page. I'm gonna post the videos, but there is videos of someone dissecting some explosions. What ocean was that? What sea was that in?
Oh, it was over there up 100 miles off of Daytona Beach to where that's where the explosion happened. The
In
other
in Florida,
was in the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
What's in the Gulf of Mexico?
the Gulf of Mexico, you got Mexico, you got Louisiana, you got Alabama, you got Florida, um, some parts of Mississippi. You got the oil rig, though. That's where that happened with the fire in the water.
Okay, so you got that whole like Bermuda area too.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I don't never mention South America and all that, but yeah, that is not too far from
Because
there
I was
too.
trying to think of like what land is very spiritually inclined in that area for them to be exploding.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got Texas over there as well. Yeah, so you got Cuba, Guatemala, here, well, not exactly here, there, but at the tip of Mexico and all the South American countries there. That, down the tip. What they call that? I forgot what they call that. It's not a peninsula, is it?
I think it's considered a peninsula, yes. I guess on a grander scale, things, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna call it peninsula.
Um, yeah. It's a lot of pyramids over there in that area too.
Yeah, the Mayans and all that too. From then and other tribes outside of the Mayans, the Aztecs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a
Those
lot
are
of.
really the only two main ones I know down in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, all right. So now when you like pinpoint the area down, like
Coast.
that makes sense. Not justifying it, but it makes sense. Like if the theory was that they were blowing up areas where there were mermaids at, yeah, that's a good spot to spot mermaids. They probably over there.
Because the Gulf of Mexico is what did they say that an ocean what a sea was? What they said was a sea was. Let's see that noodle again.
What did we say that the sea was?
Yes.
7 of them.
Okay. They said that the sea is connected with the land, branching off from the ocean, basically. So the Gulf
Oh
of
yeah,
Mexico
like
is
all the land is connected, right? I believe that because all the trees are connected. Every tree in the world is
it's where
connected.
the ocean and the land meet. So seas are smaller than oceans, and they are usually located where the land and the ocean meet. Isn't the Gulf of Mexico met up with some land, and doesn't the ocean come right there? Doesn't it meet right there? So why they call it the Gulf?
Cause they're weird.
Why they don't call it the Sea of Mexico?
What's the difference? What's a goal? What?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take.
Hold on.
It makes sense to call it a sea, though, right? According to that definition, right? So why they call it
Yeah.
a Gulf? They don't want to name anything a sea over here this way, though. Nothing is no sea over here. Let's see, a Gulf versus a sea. Okay, a sea is an open area that's particularly bounded by land barrier, while Gulf is an area of water indented into a land mass. Okay. I guess this by definition. This by definition is a Gulf. This by definition is a sea.
Okay, so seas are enclosed by land,
Uh-huh.
but they saltwater. So oceans are bigger than seas. Seas are enclosed by
Seas
land.
lead to the ocean. But
No, they blocked off from the ocean.
that's not correct though. If you look at
It's
the
like a
Gulf of
water
Mexico,
valley. Oh, so
if
they
you look,
lied about the Gulf of Mexico.
they be tripping. If you look at the Gulf of Mexico, where you
Oh, okay, okay. So a sea is an area of open water, but it's bounded by a land barrier. So a sea is like a water peninsula, whereas a gulf is like a water valley.
but look at that. There ain't no this doesn't that look like a sea to you? A Gulf
Yeah,
has
it
more land
does.
in between it and gaps in between it. You know what I'm saying?
But if they're calling it a gulf, you know what that means to me? That means that land that there's land in between that water. That's not all water there. They could probably walk, or it's probably not as deep as you think it is.
Well, they
Because
lying then,
a
right?
gulf is, yeah, a gulf is just a water valley.
So then they're lying. So there's some land in between here. Because according
Yeah,
to this,
it got to be like random islands and stuff, like little cross pebbles or whatever of land or whatever.
okay, okay. Now you got America, you got Cuba connected like that, you know what I'm saying? But all that still, you only got the Gulf of Mexico on this part. Down there, that's the Cayman Islands, because they call that the damn ocean down where Jamaica is and all that. All that in other Jamaica and all that. Then you have South America, right?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, you got the Caribbean Sea. You have the Caribbean Sea. Now let's take a look at the Caribbean Sea. And maybe associate mermaids with only seas, but they don't want to associate a mermaid with over here to go from Mexico, quote unquote. Okay. Now we're about the Caribbean Sea. The Caribbean Sea looks like anything that a sea though, but okay, we'll call it sea. But the Gulf of Mexico is more included than the Caribbean Sea. But that's why you're seeing a lot of the mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see mermaids in the Caribbean Sea, you definitely gonna see them in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, because that's probably where they be like coming off up shore. Especially if they claim mermaids be leading people to rocks, then that's where the rocks is at.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a spot to retaliate.
Yeah, look at
That's
all that. And then you got so many islands and stuff, in the Caribbean Sea. You got Dominica, you have Mavis, Lucas, um, you have the Virgin Islands, you got the Cayman Islands and shit. You got all that. Puerto
their
Rico.
mountaintops to the
Oh,
sea.
yeah. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Cuba all like in line, kind of like like the peninsula right here in Southern America, but that's the next South America.
Okay.
And then after that, it's just ocean. So yeah, they were trying to destroy the mermaid definitely in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
They
most
definitely.
definitely. And we're gonna post those videos so you can check those out and see them. But yeah, and then it was like the explanation. So they said that it was like an oil spill, right? That was
Yeah,
the
because the
news
oil rigs
claim.
down there. They got a big
Um,
problem.
that didn't come off like no oil rig, unless they could be digging down there for fossils, but it'll be like whose fossil oil is down there? Mermaids. But that's all I got. That's what I got from mermaids. I think the only last thing I got is in Germany. Lorelei is the mermaid of Germany. And a maiden threw herself in the Rhine River over a faithless lover and was transformed into a siren. They were one of the people that started mixing sirens and mermaids started getting mixed together when the Greek and Romans got their hands on it. Then they started combining them and stuff like that. But you can hear the rock echo if you go to the rocks of Rhine River. You can hear the echo. If you were to see a mermaid on a voyage, that meant a shipwreck was coming. Excuse me. If you offended a mermaid, they would create floods and disasters. Um, and oh, they didn't have any souls. Find that interesting. They didn't have any souls, but they were still mortal. And that's
Yeah, they
really
did
the last
explain
bit I had.
that. Real quick on the oil rigs, I wanted to know how many they had over there in Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
Over about 3,500 currently stand there. 3,200 of them remain active.
Hmm.
The major ones, and they have some interesting names. And I'll start by naming a few of them. Atlantis Oil Field, Tiber Oil Field, Notable Oil Field, Bullwinkle, Mad Dog, Magnolia, Mars, Petroleum, and Thunder Horse. The Jack 2 and Naughty Head. Naughty Head. That was the most. That was the one that stood out to me the most. It's funny that they named one of them Atlantis oil field, and it's not even in the Atlantic Ocean. Um, It's in the Gulf. So,
The
yeah.
Atlantis one is interesting because that's by the Bahamas Islands. The Atlantis one. There's an Atlantis in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. I like the Naughty
Like
Head.
yeah, that whole Bermuda Triangle area thing. I think that was like one of those. We've had enough. Let's blow up the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. They got one called Naughty Head too. Naughty Head was interesting to me.
Mhm.
Mm. Well, I'm glad we had this.
That's in
The murder,
Florida, Nottingham, Florida.
huh?
Nottingham is that Florida? Where is that at?
Naughty Head. That's the name of the
That's
oil
what
rig
you said?
in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, that's what it's called. Oh, that is
Yeah.
interesting. Is that a K? KN?
KNOTTY Head. Naughty Head.
Oh, that's what's up. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The more you know.
Bullwinkle. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I have to do some research on those.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to give thanks to the mermaids. Thank you for educating us when the people that created us wouldn't. You guys are the best adoptive parents ever. You know,
I
I
can't believe you
wish you
ain't seen.
would help. If they came out the water and taught us, where did we get this notion from that we don't swim? Is that a slave thing?
They got the notion from we don't swim. I don't know because I know a lot of people probably jump off the damn boats and shit and swim. I mean, great,
Yeah,
great
why
swim.
would like if we had mermaid friends, why wouldn't we jump off the boat? And then on top of that, in a lot of places it was walkable, and we knew the ocean better than them because
Yeah, because they act like
we
we didn't
from out
travel.
here.
We were just
We from
stuck
out
in
here,
one.
cuz.
We were just stuck in one places. We ain't traveled nowhere. We was all over the world.
We didn't
We
do
ain't had.
nothing until they colonized us. We was bored out here.
We just dropped out of the sky to a damn plantation to a cotton field in 1500 something.
Hi, baby.
But I'm thankful for this episode. I'm thankful for the knowledge that we have gained more about mermaids. Regardless of whether people believe in them or not, that's why we can look at them. So the major mythbuster, well, the major fact was that that was solid information without the break. Because people might not believe that the Sumerians had the 7 stages or whatever. You know, they're not. They want to see hardcore proof from somebody that existed to them. And okay, there you go. Alexander the Great was a mermaid. His mother turned herself into a mermaid. So there you go. And
Okay, yeah. I'm definitely, and you know what? It's cool that we got knowledge because it's Obatala season. Obatala season is the season of knowledge. Neptune goes prograde tonight. Neptune is the energy of the subconscious. Mermaids are credited for giving us knowledge from Inky, who is the god of knowledge. And guess what? Our next episode is going to be about. We are entering our Aboriginal ancestors 3-part series, and the first episode is the story of Inky. So we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of why the fuck you made a whole bunch of people and didn't want to teach them how to do nothing. And then we're
I
gonna
never
learn
want to
about
ask
why we
them.
collectively have daddy issues. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, because one thing I didn't look up about these parents or whatever. I just looked up the rest of it or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna look up more on that when we get into
We're
our next
gonna
step.
learn about Inky. I'm excited about that too because it feels like we scratched the surface. I had no idea that us learning about mermaids was going to lead to Inky. I had no idea we were going to end up on the Bible, that we were going to end up on all these different places on
This much,
Earth.
I had no idea, and I was like, yeah, doing the great episode that would be kind of great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I thought we was finna be generic as fuck with mommy water. I did not know we were gonna go down here. And
Yeah,
so that's cool. This actually was a divine alignment and a nice segue into our next episode. So that's really dope.
we tend to do that shit. Like, we be doing that.
We do. We be so on time. Like even with us doing like a mermaid today on the day that Neptune goes prograde is a divine alignment because Neptune is all about the subconscious and the feminine energy of wisdom, that internal intuitive wisdom. You know, Jupiter is the masculine, Obatala is the masculine wisdom, the generosity and the materialisms and things of that. But Neptune is the feminine wisdom. So mermaids had the wisdom. Mermaids are credited for giving us the wisdom. The mermaids were created by Inky, the god of wisdom. And you know, we're in the water energy, Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. What are Pisces? Fish. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm definitely on a lot of Pisces
we
energy.
always be aligned, and it'd be really dope. It'd be really, really
Yeah,
fucking dope.
yeah. We was coming up with the episode or whatever. And I was like, I was kind of thinking like, maybe mermaid. But I like it. I like it. I like it because it's something that I wanted to know about. I wanted to look more into it because I know it's more than what's beyond on the surface than what we see. And mermaids are
Right.
everywhere. You got Starbucks, you know, their original logo off the thing, honey, because it looked like she spread eagle. Um, yeah.
She was lit for some coffee. I'd do anything for a coffee, cuz.
Yeah. Also, I can't wait until we get into the symbolism episode as well because, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be in February. We get into symbolism.
That's all.
Um,
We got to get a little bit.
yeah. I'm excited for the end of the by the end of this month, we're going to end off with the labeling of the land. So we're going to get into the borders that we speak of and the history of the borders. And I'm hoping and crossing my fingers I can find a good or at least create a good timeline of maps so we can see them morph a little bit. But yeah, I'm trying to play around. As you guys see, I'll be playing around. I'm gonna start playing around with the theme song now. The intro song is going to contain the photographs and some clips and stuff of what the episode is going to be about to give y'all a taste.
Y'all give it
January
up. That
episode.
kind of creativity is off
Thank
the
you,
chain.
thank
Okay.
you, thank you. I,
I was over there like, and did it once again.
I be trying my best, you know. I try. Um, January episode, we actually get into America, Land of the Free. Hopefully, we'll be able to have some Mobites on or private citizens on to talk to us about the pathway to sovereignty. Also in January, we're going to be talking about flat Earth versus round Earth. So any flat earthers, round earthers, I don't know earthers, if y'all want to be on that episode, please pull up. You know, the more the merrier. Let's have, you know, intellectual dialogue though, because we don't debate on this platform. We dialogue. This is the dialogue of the philosophers, not the debaters. Um, and the
I said,
theorists. We like to come up with theories. And then the 21st, we have theories of the celestial maps. So we'll get into like the star maps, and there's different theories that talk about how the celestial map is really just an extension of the Earth map and stuff. And I really like that theory, and it fits very nice with me. And I still agree with the fact that there's still electromagnetic energies off of the Earth because they all produce their own crystals and herbs and stuff like that. And you feel it. Like when you go into a city that ain't shit, you automatically feel it. Like your antennas go up, like I must be safe at all times. Like, and if you're in a space that's nature, you automatically feel it. So either way, you're still dealing with, you know, astrology and astronomy. Don't get it twisted. But it might, if there's a theories that the visuals of it and the reality, the material of it is different. It's construed different than we think. And I'm excited to get into those theories. I'm excited to expand myself on that.
yeah. And then after that, you know, we got into mythical truths.
Hmm.
Got that episode on 28th of January.
I love mythology.
I do too, you know, and that was a major part of uh, what they taught us in literature um, as a child, you know, in school. no matter what level of education is at, you're going to learn some form of philosophy in there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And we
That's
got
for
our
dog.
aliens, and we got our aliens too. We got a 3-part series for our alien affiliations as well. That's gonna be
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, I like
That's coming up.
aliens. I haven't really dug too far into aliens. I got surface knowledge, so I'm very excited for February. We really just gonna be expanding this season. We're really gonna be tapped in. And for those of you guys who haven't tapped into I did a podcast earlier with Foxy Roxy. We do the Son of Seed podcast every Saturday at 5. Well, every other Saturday at 5. And our episode today was about seasons and what we're supposed to be doing this season, and we're really supposed to be being still and gaining wisdom and meditating and things like that. Also fasting and being mindful of our consumption and stuff like that. So I think the fact that we're expanding ourselves, during these next 3 months in knowledge and stuff, I think that's going to be really fly. Also, this I'm grateful for the knowledge we gained because it's really influencing me to want to expand traveling experiences. I really want to go to the Fertile Crescent. I want to experience those lands.
We're gonna
And when
go.
I find out, yeah,
We're gonna go
let's
today.
go. When I find out how wrong the map is and I find out where it really is located, I want to go there too. And I want to see if it feels the same.
It probably feels totally different from what we're experiencing over here.
I bet you
And
America got their guns in both of them, though.
huh?
I bet you America got their guns in both of them, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh,
Hmm.
they got a boat over there in the Fertile Crescent. They have a sea and a boat. Their Red Sea looks like a boat though. I mean,
Yeah, they got the
uh,
seven seas over there. Just like we got the seven lakes over
yeah,
here, they got the seven seas.
yeah, they call it the Seven Seas, but the Persian Gulf is the Gulf though.
I just answered my fucking question.
What you answer, sis?
I said they got the seven seas over there and we got the seven lakes. The seven lakes are all in Michigan area. I just answered my fucking question. That's the area, that's where it's at, cuz we gotta go to Michigan. It
Oh,
probably
okay.
does feel totally fucking different.
It's cold. It's cold as fuck. We can get there. Yeah, 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 yeah.
How
But you
you
know
go
what?
from cold to Turkey? That's crazy, cuz.
The seven lakes. Let's see if I can remember. Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. What's the other one?
Those only two I know.
That's all I can remember.
I used to know all seven, and then like I said, school was easy.
Yeah, school was
Now I
easy.
want to
I
know them again.
realized it.
We gonna get into that when we get into the maps and shit. I'm excited for that. Bringing geography back. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't even know what. Why did we need to know the seven lakes? Because they didn't tell us like the significance of the lakes. Mm. Is there a lake named Flint?
No, that's a town.
Oh, but I was about to say I don't understand why the water is still and Flint still doesn't have clean water. Okay. Oh, I'm about to say I don't know what the hell these seven lakes are. Because that don't sound like that was in America. That's the Philippines. They gave me some lakes. I was like, yeah, I can't pronounce none of that. I don't even know what those are. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. They ain't what those are. They're not bringing up a seven lakes. Why? We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Lake Erie,
Absolutely.
Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario is out of that right now. For now. Yes. So okay, so we're close to our 2 hour mark. It doesn't even seem that late though, neither.
Mm-mm.
Oh, they call them the Great Lakes. Okay. They
Mhm.
ain't just regular lakes, they're Great Lakes.
Yeah, because they like the seven seas.
Mm. 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 So you got they still ain't told me the damn. Okay. So Detroit is not too far. Maybe that's why they separate Detroit, like up to Detroit from like up the river and down the river or whatever too.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Since they ain't trying to, they're like,
They make the map so small, so annoying. I have to look on my computer.
oh, you got Lake. Okay, like I said, Lake Ontario. Um, what this one? What's this one that's near Cleveland? They ain't telling me that one. Lake Huron, Lake Michigan. Oh, wow. Lake Superior. Okay. Not only the lake is great, it's superior to all other lakes. I should have known Hudson. Oh, Lake Erie. Okay. Well, they weren't trying to give me all the lakes. Sis. I don't know why. Maybe something happened to them. I have got to get a microphone or some noise canceling
They
Bluetooth
be having a whole like
AirPod.
podcast set up at Five and Below. I'm not. I For those of you guys who don't know, I'm handicapped right now, so I can't really like sit up at my computer the way I'm accustomed to. So my access to my usual StreamYard producer stick capabilities, like the screen sharing and all that stuff, I was able to do. I'm kind of limited right now.
You do, you chilling. Yo, you all right.
We
I know
gonna
how
get
you
it
are.
together. We got a whole season, and y'all can slowly watch me heal.
Heal.
But
Keep
I
healing.
I enjoyed this. We got 2 hours in. I'm here for it. I will see y'all on our next episode, which is all that we gonna start our series on Aboriginal ancestors. We're gonna get into the story of Inky. Oh, and I've been so aligned. I had this book next to me for the longest because I had intentions on reading it. And this gets into the story of Inky. Yeah. This is the the
Hmm.
stories from, was it Dr. York? Yeah, Dr. Malachi York. Um, his teachings and the people of the sun, and I'm going to get into this, and I can't wait to share with y'all what I get out of it. And I believe that there is a PDF out there, and I believe I have it in my library because I have so many books in my Google Drive library. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
If I find the PDF, definitely gonna shoot it over to you so you can read
Yeah.
along. But yeah,
Yes.
this is fun. I'm very excited
Yeah.
to. I read this like twice already, but it's been a long time. And every time I read it, it's, you know how every time you read something again, you get like, oh shit. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to read it again. I'm excited for the refresher. It's been a little over a year.
Well, sometimes like
Excited.
over and over again, the third time I read it, I think I got the full understanding of it. But
Mm-hmm.
time that you do read it, you do pick up and gain more knowledge on the content.
Yeah, especially because I've learned so much in between time. To come
Hmm.
back and be able to have a different level of understanding now. I can absorb things different and stuff. I do enjoy to do that. That's why I read Metu Netter like every month. I include that in my weekly planetary forecast. Because it gives me, it puts pressure onto me to read it frequently and keep it alive in the forefront of my mind.
Right.
That's the goal. That is the goal. But I'm finna get up off here. I'm about to take another Tylenol. I'm about, um, I'm about to lay it down. It is. I want to
You
eat with my
make
eyes
it.
closed. That's what I really want to do. We'll see. How successful I get to that goal.
Well, I think this says you did a wonderful job. As you always do, just brilliant. You know,
As did you.
sometimes,
As did
sometimes
you.
even though you think you're handicapped or whatever, handicapped about you.
Y'all, I'd be like, I got one leg. They'll be like, you got two legs. One just broke.
You have a ankle or or broken or tibula.
That bitch broke my tibia, my fibula, and my ankle. She broke it all, sis.
Oh yeah. That whole
She
part.
broke it all.
I mean, but it's not amputated, so it's not like you lost your leg. Like you say,
No, and you know what's crazy? I didn't break skin or anything.
huh?
I didn't break skin. Like even though my bone was broken and it was dangling, I didn't break any skin.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Yo, on God, if I would have seen my blood, I would have passed.
You would have passed out.
God
See,
knew what he
only
was doing. He was like,
thing,
no open wounds, sunshine, can't handle. That's too much. I would never give her more than she can handle. This is enough.
yeah, you just pass out. When you break a bone, you know, bone stuff, you'll pass out. Like,
I'd have been like, I see blood. That's my blood. Yeah, that wouldn't have went well. So thank you. You're always looking out for the girls.
yeah, I'm thank God it's still here with us. You know what I'm saying? Thank God, other times when people get hit, especially here in Georgia, people don't live. Somehow here in Columbus,
People
Georgia,
don't live
some
up
people
here.
not walk anymore. They're
The
better
same day
than
the day before I got hit by a car, a friend of mine, dad died from getting hit by a car. A year ago, not even a year ago, my friend, the one I was talking to, he got hit by a car. He died.
that's
That
fine.
was my friend.
Yeah, that's some
It was
peace
crazy.
on.
People
Yeah,
get into car accidents, car on car, and die. I had a friend that died last year, last Scorpio season. She was in a car and died. You know, people don't be making it, and I'm out here making it, and I'm grateful, but like I would like for this not to be a pattern. I'm not interested in this to keep happening. Moving forward, I would like to have a driver. I don't even think I want to drive anymore. I don't want to get on any more public transportation. I don't want to walk across the street anymore by myself. I just my overthinking and my worrying is coming in, and it is just like my understanding of the power of thoughts and the power of words is mixing in with the overthinking and the worrying, and then it's like, oh shit, but if I keep overthinking and worrying about my intrusive thoughts and I'm a magnet, I must be attracting it, so I really can't go outside now. And that's where I'm at.
yeah, yeah.
I'm on the
And
couch driving myself crazy, y'all. I'm losing it.
then, then what's gonna happen? Something before you have to end up to go outside.
I'm scared
That's
of outside.
I don't blame you.
I just want to stay in the house. This was a crazy year.
Yeah, it
I
was.
think somebody was really trying to kill me this year.
But you lived through it all, though. Sis. You are still here.
I'm still
Let's have.
standing. But
Yeah,
if you're trying to kill me, can you please
you still
stop?
right there, though. You still, but you can't stand on one leg, though. But you still standing. You still here.
My balance is superb. My balance is superb. This one
Yeah,
foot
you.
that I've been standing on been doing me right. That's because I got long ass feet. This size 11 been holding it down.
Yeah, that helps with the balance, y'all. I tell you,
For real.
hey, hey,
For real.
what didn't kill you only makes you stronger, though. And you survived this whole year. So let's stay tuned for 2020. 2023 is going to be better, though. I promise you that.
I hope so. I know, but
2023 is.
I'm
I feel
I just
2023
gotta
is going to
survive
be.
the rest of this year. I
I
think the
think the
best way
odd
to survive
numbers
the rest of this year is just to
your
stay my
year,
ass in
sis.
the house though.
I think the odd numbers are more of your year, the better years for you. The numbers. I think that's kind of what happened to me. Yeah, 2022. Maybe. Yep, I don't
2021
know.
and 2019 were really good years. 2020 was a good year.
2020 was a fantastic year, honey. I ain't gonna hold you.
It was a really
I
good
wish,
year.
in a way, I wish we could have 2020 back again. Another round of that.
I think this year, the theme of this entire year was learning how to rest. I just wasn't listening.
That's right, Amanda. She is a warrior.
I appreciate it. I really was trying to learn how to rest, but I really was healing from that worker bee mentality. It was like, oh, I always gotta work. I gotta work, work, work. I got kids. They got bills. I need money. If I'm not, the bills not paid.
The realm that we in or whatever, I'm like, that's really the life we live in. I mean, we're all in this little rat race. We always got to get to the money. We always got to do something. We got to keep something. I mean, yeah.
But the universe don't want me to do that. The universe don't want that for me. I can't do it. I really be trying. Like I don't, and that was a conversation I had to have with people because sometimes I don't be aware of how my vernacular bothers people, but I really don't be judging motherfuckers. My judgments come from survival skills. Like I judge situations and say, "Oh, that don't work for me." But if that worked for somebody else, cool. I really be trying to have jobs, and I be really good at them. Like I go up the ladder, I make it to manager, I make it to coordinator, I make it to all this shit, and it's like it always get taken from me in a weird way. Like the company shut down, I get laid off. Somebody get like it was one time the company that hired me was stealing from everybody the whole time, stealing out of their paychecks, and eventually disappeared and closed the whole thing down. Like weird shit. COVID happened. Like weird shit happens, and it's like, nah, you're not keeping this job, bro.
Yeah, I quit my job. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, fuck Apple. I'm damn collecting these damn checks. Who don't want to collect $1,200 damn dollars for free?
But then I'll be trying to work for myself with the same energy I would have at a job, and the universe didn't want me to do that neither.
Apple was lucky I was still there during last bit of April. I quit April 19th. I would never forget it. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna clock anything.
It was that bad?
I ain't gonna fuck up too much to have to say or anything. Like you just didn't show up. Well, come in tomorrow, bitch, please. I'm about to apply for this unemployment. I'm about to get this PUA, whatever money. Shit, I'm about to live it up.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
In February.
That's when I was trying to quit my job in February. That's when I got into the first accident.
I was looking to that job and create body. Okay, I'm gonna just hold on to it. I'm just working. Man, I think how people are living. Yeah, get to it. They got check. One more. Let me get one more head down survey, and I'm out of this bitch.
I only need one more week.
Man, shit. Yeah, a damn that customer had one more time. They damn fuck them iOS and Mac devices out.
All right, Corey, I'm really about to get up out of here. Let me go.
I ain't told you shit.
I'm gonna play this video for y'all one more time on our way out the door.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Thank y'all for tapping in. Don't forget 1238. Neptune is stationary prior to it going prograde. It's a beautiful time, place of frequencies, and going to meditate on that one. And happy Obatala season. We will see you next Saturday. We're gonna talk about Inky. Yes. What time? We don't know yet. We be on our own time.
To what they call Philadelphia, right? This region was called Shaxamoxin, which means where the kings meet. To what they call Philadelphia, right? This region was called Shaxamoxin, which means where the kings meet. The territory as a whole was called Lenape Hoken.
I prefer to watch human behavior from afar. The ignorance, intelligence, and they are the war. Tragedy, strategies, put knowledge in the book. Change our language so we couldn't read it if we look. Convince us we ain't have shit here but disease. Made us 3/5 human and black illegally. You put your fist up to being African American. How much history you went through for that to make some sense? I've been on Turtle Island 10,000 years. Akubulan been my neighbor. Pangea brought me here. The world didn't start in 1400s. Niggas grow up. What you think we was doing? Morse was running Europe. We been tribal folk, now it's time to show up. Bring back the villages, cause cities ain't got no love. Your melanin addicted to the infliction of pollution. Chemical dependency, nature the solution. Grow your food and medicine, build homes in conclusion. The enemy will televise infiltration as inclusion.
And in order to be in propria persona in this country,